Good evening and welcome. This is Whole and Beautiful. I am Angela Oliphant, your host, and I am so glad that you all have joined me tonight for a night of information, revelation, and change. It is another great night tonight, guys. I am excited that you're here. I'm excited that you have joined me for another episode of Whole and Beautiful. As you're coming in, I would like for you to like and comment and to share this broadcast with somebody else. Don't let it be that you're the only one that's listening in. Give somebody else the opportunity to come on in and listen to. Give them the opportunity to hear what's going to be said tonight, because I got some good stuff for y'all tonight. Yes, I do. Um, this week has been a long week. It's really been a long week, and I don't even know why. I guess it's like our mindset, the way that we think about the week. This week has been something, and I have been like, oh, I'll be glad when it comes down to my Friday. But then my weekend is full too. So I was like, either way, I'm going to be busy. So I'm going to enjoy the busyness. I'm going to have fun with it. It's all about how you look at it. It's all about how you look at it, how you frame it in your own mind. So I'm framing this in saying, you know what, this is a good day. Every day is going to, good evening, Linda. Every day is going to be a good day. I'm going to have fun with today. I'm going to have a great day. Good evening, Francina. I'm glad that you joined in tonight. Every day is just going to be a good day, and I'm going to have fun with it. Whether I'm busy or not, it is still a good day. And it's a good thing to be busy sometimes. Sometimes it's good to know, you know what, I still can do this and I still can get these things done. And I'm excited about it. I got some planning going on in the background, and I'm planning some things and I'm working on some things, and it's awesome. I'm working on all kinds of things, not saying per se the things with the show, but I'm working on me and working on some other things. It's an awesome time to be alive, during this time. And I know that God gave us this opportunity to be alive during this time. So there's things that He wants us to do, and there's things that He wants us to accomplish. And we talk about it all the time. Whole and beautiful is not just your destination, is not just, it's just your journey. It's what you're doing on the way to where you want to go. We can be whole and beautiful on our way there. Tonight I'm going to keep on moving with the words that I have been sharing with y'all. I've been sharing like different words like each time we've been coming in. So I have like 3 words tonight. They're going to be good, and I want to share it with you. So make sure, guys, that you like, you comment, you share. Hi, Victoria, how are you doing? I am glad that you are here. Thank you for tuning in. I am going to share with you those words on tonight. I hope that you get something out of it, that you will get this information, and that you will have a revelation, and it will bring about a change. It's going to bring about a change in you. So we're going to jump right on in here. I don't know how long this is going to last, and every time I say that, I go to full time. So we're going to see. We're going to see what happens tonight. But I wanted to just share this information with you. Oh man, where do we start? We're going to start with our first word. Our first word tonight is creative. Creative is relating to or involving. I'm going to make sure I read this definition right. Relating to or involving the imagination or original ideas, especially in the production of an artistic work. You're being creative. And then the word innovative is featuring new methods. That's something new that are advanced. It's an original idea. It's introducing new ideas. Creative thinking is distinctive, something different. And then we have our word execute. Execute means that I'm going to carry it out. I'm going to be effective. I'm going to plan this thing out. I'm going to put some order to it, and I'm going to bring it to the place where it's like it's operating. My course of action, what am I going to do? And you might say, what are you talking about, Angela? I am talking about us being creative and innovative. And a lot of us are so creative and we are innovative. We are creative. We think and we have these great, wonderful ideas in our minds. Oh man, the things that we can write down, the things that we put pen to paper and we are writing stuff down. Good evening, Bernice. How are you? I'm so glad that you joined me on tonight. We have all these great ideas. We have all these creative things that we have in our minds. We write them down. And some of those things are innovative. They are original. Nobody else is doing it. It is in you, and you're like, oh my goodness, this is just such an awesome thing that I have here. But what we have to begin to do is we have to begin to execute those things. We have to begin to plan it out. We have to take the course of action of how are we going to get these ideas? How are we going to get all this originality and individuality? How we are going to bring it to the point where it's manifesting, to the point where we're seeing it. Because a book, a lot of times, is an idea. For a long time, I had written and studied all this stuff, and somebody told me it was a book, and I was like, I don't think that that's a book. But they say, yes, it is. You need to put this, get it in some type of order. They basically were telling me you need to execute it. You already got everything right here. You need to execute it. It needs to come into a plan. You need to put this in an order and bring about this particular book. So I ended up doing that. But it took me about 20 years later before I even really considered like, oh, okay, this is an actual book. Let me put it in book form. But I wanted to share with you about being creative, being innovative, and executing your plan, because we can be creative all day. We can be innovative and we can have these great, wonderful ideas. But it is time for us to start to plan out and to walk in what we want this thing to look like. What is the outlook of it? What do we want to see come out of this? What is it that we have on the inside of us that we want to see on the outside of us? But we need to take the time to plan it out. We plan things out. We trust God and we give it to him. Yes. But sometimes he will open up doors and put you in contact with people. He will put you in places where you will meet up with other people, or he may put you in a place and where you have those resources that you need to bring that vision you have, that thing that you have on the inside of you out. He takes you to those places. And if we're not paying attention, we will miss our opportunities. We will miss that person that we could have sat down and talked to that would gave us that next step to what we needed to do. We can't just sit around and not work on the plan. Working on the plan. We give room? So if God changes something, yes, we're flexible. We will move with the flow of what he tells us to do. But you got to make the plan out. And when you make the plan out, you got to execute it. You got to say, okay, this is my first step. This is what I'm going to do. This is my next step. This is what I'm going to do. This is my third step, and have it all mapped out as to what I'm going to do. Because if we don't plan, it's like if you don't have that plan in your mind, in your head, if it's not written down, you just going off, like some people say, the seat of your pants, just running out there to do anything. When an opportunity comes, you don't even realize that the opportunity is there. I have seen so many people, they have these plans, they have all these great, wonderful ideas. They are very creative. They are very innovative. They have wonderful things. But when they have been given the opportunity to present those things, when they've been given the opportunity to bring that thing out and to show people, they haven't even planned it out. The opportunity passes them by because they made no plan for it. Yes, you're doing this wonderful thing, and yes, you know it looks good. I know someone who does art. They are very awesome at what they do. they can draw, and they oh man, it's just beautiful. But no execution, not executing it, not planning this out. And I go and I like, oh, I wish, that they would just go ahead, go ahead and draw your paint, do your paintings, do your drawings, have things that you can offer. So when you're put in a position where somebody can see your artwork, it's not enough for you to just draw, and you draw these little things on the side and you do this thing and you have it at home. You need to put it on display. Make you a plan. Go ahead, go to an art gallery, find out how much, because they have so many art galleries, so many vendors, so many different things. Put your work out there. Let people see it. You never know the resources that you're going to connect with. You never know the people that will see that work and say, hey, I want to utilize you to do this piece for me, to do this thing for me. It's the same with other businesses. We say, we're going to sell this and we're going to do that. We're going to create our own business. I got people who I know who have so much. They have products sitting at their home that they do nothing with. They haven't made a plan. They had a great imagination, creative. They were innovative. Oh, I can do it this way and get it out there. But they have not executed it. What I want y'all to do this weekend, if you have not, sit down, devise a plan, organize everything, put it all together so that you can execute that plan. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Bernice, I agree. Oftentimes it's fear that keeps us from implementing that plan. It keeps us from stepping out and doing what we need to do. Some people are just fearful of failing. They think that they're going to fail, and that fear overrides them and they don't put it out there. But I'm telling you, overcome your fear, overcome it, push forward, push through that limitation, push through that wall and say, you know what, even if it's a small thing that you do for your business, if it's a small thing that you do for yourself, that you will begin to step out there and do what you need to do. Sometimes we are afraid. Sometimes that fear will grip us to the point, it's like, oh, I'm going. You have this thing made up in your mind already about how it's going to work. And you've already planned the failure out before you can even step out and try to do what you know in your heart you need to do. We need to do it. And sometimes it's just like George Meyer said a long time ago, do it afraid. Sometimes you just got to step out there and do it afraid. You're afraid, and some people don't even know that you're afraid. Some people will not even look at you and even realize how afraid you are. But if you step out there, I believe that God is with you and that he will strengthen you, and you'll begin to walk into it. You'll be able to do it. It's a strength that comes up in you that pushes you. And sometimes we are, yes, Elder Hines, I am glad you said that. Sometimes we are afraid to succeed. I was that way for a while. It's like this fear of, if I succeed in this area, something is going to come and it's going to snatch it all away from me. It's like, oh, things are going good right now. It can't last like this all the time. Just waiting for, like people would say, the axe to fall, just waiting for something to go wrong. So then I start creating the wrong because I'm waiting for something. It's like, that's where my focus is, that something wrong is going to happen. All of this is going to be taken away. All of this is just going to, crumble. We have to think better. We have to allow our minds to be transformed, allow our thinking to be transformed. We need to get rid of our stinking thinking, the way that we think, because the way we think is who we are. As a man thinks, so is he. So we need to deal with what's going in our minds. What are we telling ourselves? What are we saying to ourselves? Because in order to execute that plan, you're going to have to bulldoze over some barriers. You're not going to have everybody that's for you. Everybody's not going to be clapping for you and got pom-poms on the side, rooting for you to win. You have to root for yourself to win. I found out as I get older, I found out it's not so much of what people are saying out here around me, it's what I'm saying to myself. Am I telling myself that I can make it? Am I telling myself and walking in that confidence in me that I can make it and I can make this happen and I can get this done? When I get out of here and stop talking negative to myself, there's nothing that I cannot do. If I go out there and I try and I fall down, I'm like, well, you know what? I'm going to get up. I'm going to brush myself off and I'm going to keep right on moving. Why? Because I am not going to let this thing defeat me. I'm going to keep pressing and I'm keep moving forward. And it takes you stepping out there for yourself. A lot of times we step out for other people. If they ask us to do this thing for them, we like, yes, I'll do that for you. Yes, you on their bandwagon. You are clapping for them. You got your pom-poms in hand and ready for them. And then when it's time for you to do something concerning you or walk into that thing that you wanted to do, you don't have the pom-poms for yourself. You don't have that applause for yourself. You beating up on yourself. No, have them same pom-poms out there and be like, girl, you go, girl. Stand in the mirror, tell yourself you can make it. You're going to make it. You're going to go out here. You're going to do this. And even if you go out there and it doesn't work the way you wanted it to work, you brush yourself off. You get up and you keep right on moving. We look at different people like in history, like the Oprah Winfrey's and the Sidney Poitier and the man, so many other people, and I'm seeing their faces and I can't say their names right now. But anyway, we see all these different people. And like Cicely Tyson, all these people, and I like reading up on people. I love their stories. And it's not like they came into this world like, oh, I got it going on and I'm going to accomplish everything I ever wanted to accomplish. It took them being diligent. It took them being creative. It took them being innovative. It took them executing their plan. And a lot of times we think things are handed to people. A lot of times they are not. It's not that somebody handed it out to them for them saying, you know what, here you go. You just step into this. No, they had to work it. They had to work the idea. They were not born millionaires. They were not born with all this wealth. It was on the inside, but it wasn't like this monetary stuff on the outside. But they had to tap into the wealth in here in order to get the wealth that was around them. So you need to tap into the wealth that's on the inside of you in order for you to get that wealth that's on the outside of you. Tap into it this weekend. I want you to tap in. I want you to realize who you are and realize all the things that you have on the inside of you. Yeah, Francina. Yep. Self-sabotage is one of the things Elder Hans be talking about a lot. And it will get you. Self-sabotage will get you. And right, Francina, you said to raise your self-esteem and encourage yourself, right? To think positive thoughts and see yourself where you want to be. You see what you want to have. I've seen myself do a lot of things, and it's like I can see it here. And it has not always been that way. At one point in my life, I wasn't seeing anything like great and wonderful for me. But as time go on, I started seeing better for me. I started seeing myself doing certain things, standing in certain places and speaking certain things and doing certain things. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it's in me. And whenever I get in that type of environment, I'm just on fire on the inside because I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. This is how I want things to go. It's my passion to do some of those things. And I know that they're going to come to pass. Why? Because that's what I see now. There was a prayer, and I'm going to share this with you. There was a prayer that I prayed like about 20 years ago. I didn't tell nobody about it. I prayed about it. And it was some things that I wanted. I was like, God, I want to be this in the body of Christ. That's what I want. That's how I want to be. and that has always been my prayer. And then this past Sunday, we had a guest speaker that came to our church. They ministered. It was awesome. Church was almost over. They're getting ready to close out. And then she turns to me and she said, I'm going to get back with you. And I was like, get back with me. Then she starts to talk to me and she begins to speak my prayer to me. I said, this is God. Oh my goodness. But she began to speak my prayer to me. And one thing that I had asked God was that I would be a pillar in the house of God. I asked him for that. And it was something in my heart that I wanted to be a pillar in the house of God. And if you know what a pillar is a support beam. It's like the weight and the pressure. Was I really knowing what I was asking for, y'all? But it was the where the pillar is. It's like it holds the most weight. It holds it, but because that pillar is there, nothing falls down. Nothing is going to fall over or cave in because the pillar is there. And when I prayed it has been my heart. And she spoke my heart back to me. God spoke my heart back to me and let me know you are a pillar in the house of the Lord. And he spoke some other things to me, but he was speaking my prayers back to me. And I was beginning to walk in, which I was already walking in a lot of things that I asked for. So I was like, yay, God is so good. But a lot of times we have these things where we pray it and we never act on it. We never try to move in the direction that we're praying. We're praying for one thing, but then we're moving in another direction. Go ahead and start walking in that direction. God will let you know if you're moving in the wrong direction, because he'll nudge you. The Holy Spirit will nudge you. He will let you know. And I ain't even mean to go all there. But anyway, he will let you know. So what you need to do is you need to learn how to execute those things that you got written in notebooks, those things that you have up here in your mind that you've been just mulling like over and over and over again, because you can see it. You see it. And you're like, okay, I want to do this. Then execute it. Ask for the plan. Ask for the plan. I spoke to somebody this week and I had been praying. They called me. They talked to me. They gave me some wisdom that God had given them concerning me. And I sat down with that wisdom and God began to show me the step by step by step. And I began to write it down. And then I was like, oh, now I have it written down. Now I can execute this plan. I have this plan and it's written down and I put everything together. And I was like, I'm so excited. Why? Because now I was able to see. I had been praying about it and I was like, man, I gotta get something here. I don't know what it is. But because he spoke it to somebody else, and because I was able to be connected with this person, then they brought that wisdom to me. And when they gave me that part of it, everything else was unlocked and it was unleashed. And I was like, oh, writing. And I still have these ideas that are just flowing, because it unlocks some things. Sometimes we need to be connected with people. And because we're trying to isolate and pull away and be by ourselves, we're not able to connect with some of the people that we really need to connect with. They may be your resource. They may be your key to unlocking what's on the inside of you. You never know. So you don't need to isolate. You don't need to pull yourself by yourself all the time. I always say this: no man is an island. No man stands alone. We need each other. We do. And you never know, that person that you need to meet may be like at that grocery store when you go to the grocery store. That person may be at that particular school where you are. You're going to go pick up your kids, or you're going to go participate in this event, and you meet up with this person, and that person could be the person that's going to help you unlock some things. They may not even know it. They may say one word to you, and that one word will change your life forever. That one little thing And you may not, it's not saying that you're going to be best friends with them and y'all going to hang out and have coffee and donuts or whatever. It may be that I needed to meet you at that point at the grocery store for you to say this one word that unlocked something on the inside of me. So we have to be paying attention. We have to go and do things that we need to go do at the time we need to go do them. You never know. Just that walk that you went on, that person that you ended up talking to, uh, connected you with somebody that you've been trying to get in contact with forever. You never know who is around you, who is amongst you, if you don't even try to talk to people. I was not one, y'all, to go out and just talk to people. But I was like, no, you got to do something innovative. You got to stop that. You got to start talking to people. You got to just, I mean, I would say hi, but I'm not like a conversation starter person, you know? So I was like, okay, I'm just going to step on out there. I'm going to show myself friendly and I'm going to start talking to people. I'm going to start, like, I would listen to things that they were saying, but I never had conversation for them. But I was like, you know what? I need to start talking. I need to initiate the conversation. I need to begin to talk to people so why I can make that connection. I'm going to share with y'all this. This is awesome to me. It is awesome to me because we can be creative, we can be innovative, but we've got to execute the plan. We got to get this plan together. We got to execute it. We got to walk in it. I'm going to tell you the story about this man. This man, his name was Bartimaeus. His name was Bartimaeus. So, and in my Bible people out there, you probably know about Bartimaeus, but we're going to talk about him just a little bit, maybe in a different light. But I thought about it. Bartimaeus, and for those who don't know, Bartimaeus was a blind man, and he was sitting on side of the road. It's like, can you picture it in your head? He's sitting on the side, you know, maybe on the sidewalk, you know, and he is hearing all this stuff about this man that's coming through the town. This man is going to be coming through this town, but they are talking about this man and what all this man can do. This man can heal people. This man has raised people from the dead. This man has done all these wonderful, awesome things. And Bartimaeus is hearing what this man has done. So he hears about it, and he hears that the man is coming through his town. He's going to be passing by on his street where he is. That's where they're coming through. So Bartimaeus is like, okay, I want to see. I want to see. And I want my sight restored. I want to be able to see. So he starts devising a plan. But he realizes he's going to have to be creative. He realizes he's going to have to be innovative. Why? Because as this man is going to be coming through, he's not just coming through the town and he's going to be by himself. He got all these other men that's going to be with him. He got all these crowds of people that's following him. And it's like, it's going to be noisy. So Bartimaeus is like, okay, I'm sitting on here on the side of the road, and y'all, I'm sharing my story. Okay. He's sitting on the side of the road. He's sitting there on this sidewalk. He's waiting for this man to come through. And as he's hearing, the crowd is coming. The crowd is, so he hears a crowd of people and he hears them talking. And he's already, you know what, all right, he's already made up his plan. Now, why I say he had to be creative, because normally he probably was sitting there and he would ask for alms. He would ask for people to, you know, give to him, and they would give to him, but he wasn't yelling at them. He was just, you know, asking to see if people would help him. But he was like, okay, I got to get this man to notice me. I got to get him to know that I'm out here. And that's what we have to do sometimes. We got to say, hey, I'm over here. He was like, I got to get him to notice me. I got to get him to look in my direction. I got to get his attention some kind of way. Because if I don't, he's going to walk right on past me with his entourage of people, and all these other people, you know, they following him too. So what does he do? Bartimaeus is sitting out there and he hears it. He hears the crowd. He hears them getting closer. He hears them getting a little bit closer and a little bit closer. What does he do? He thinks outside the box, y'all. He starts to yell. He starts to scream. He starts to just yelling and screaming. That's right. He is strategy. His strategy is that I got to yell louder than these people around this man. Who is this man? It's Jesus. He's coming through, but I got to yell louder than these people that are around him. He's got to hear my voice because that's the way I'm going to get what I'm looking for. I've been waiting for this. But if I don't do this, if I don't yell, if I don't scream, then he's not going to hear me. He may walk right past me and I'm not get my sight. So he began to yell. He began to scream, "Thou son of David, have mercy on me." And he kept yelling. People around him was like, "Be quiet. Stop it. What you doing all that yelling for?" He was like, "I don't care what these people on the outside are saying. I am focused on what I want, and I'm going to yell, I'm going to scream because that's my strategy. That's the way I'm going to execute this plan because I want to see, and I want to see today. I want him to notice me. I want him to see me. And in order for him to do that and all these people around and it's noisy, my noise level got to be above theirs. My noise level got to be way above all these people that are around him. And when he began to yell, and when he began to scream, and when he began to yell even the more, even though they was telling him to be quiet, the Bible said that Jesus stopped. Y'all see that? He stopped where he was. He stopped what he was doing because he heard his voice. He heard him yelling. What is your strategy? What is your strategy to get things done? What am I going to do to make sure that this thing works out for me? What is my plan? How am I going to organize it? I might have to do something different. I may have to do something way out of what I'm thinking in my own mind. There are no limitations when it comes to God. There's no limitations when it comes to Christ. So you know what? I can think way outside this realm. Enlarge my borders, enlarge my territory, enlarge my mind. And I want the capacity. Let me have the capacity for my ideas and let them be to the point where it's like, hey, what am I going to do to get this particular thing or get this particular person to notice that I'm over here? Sometimes we let those opportunities pass us by because somebody says, be quiet. Somebody say, no, don't do that right now. No, you don't need to go over there. You don't need to do that. Oh, you don't need to go talk to her. And sometimes they will set things up with people and you won't even know these people, but they'll come to you and they'll be like, oh, you don't want to talk to Angela. You don't want to talk to her. No, don't talk to her because she's not going to help you and she's going to do this and she's just so, arrogant and she's so this and she's going to cut you down. And they tell you all these things and you don't even know who this person is. If you don't listen to them, you can step out. I'm not saying, if you know somebody, but you can't go by hearsay. You can't go by what somebody else is saying about somebody else and telling you, oh, stay away from them because they this, that, or the other. That's why you need to have a relationship. That's why you need to be praying and have a relationship with the Holy Spirit, because then you'll know. It's like you will know in your heart, is this a person that's going to be a part of my business? Is this a person that I need to talk to? This person may be a resource for me. That person may be a resource for me. This person may be somebody I need to connect with in business. This person may just be the person that's going to unleash something that's on the inside of me. I might not even talk to them again in my life, but today I need to talk to them. And it causes you to step outside of your boundaries. Bartimaeus had to step outside of his boundaries of just sitting there begging in his own little area. He was like, I hear about this man. I know he's coming. I got to develop something. I got to do something so I can get his attention. What are we doing? What are we doing? You have these creative ideas. You have this innovative way of doing things. I'm telling you that today is the day of execution. Today, you need to execute it. You need to strategize. You need to plan it out. You need to go forward and you need to get it done. You need to step right. You need to step outside your boundaries, the little boundaries that you set that's keeping you locked in. Now, do we have boundaries that we don't let people cross because of, you ain't gonna treat me certain ways? Yeah, that's a whole nother message, a whole nother story. We are talking about stepping outside of your limitations, the limitations that you put on yourself, having a capacity to grow and to move forward and saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, to the best of my ability. And you know what? You need to expand. You need to expand your thinking. And how do you do that? You don't do that by sitting by yourself and not reading, not studying, and just sitting there thinking something just gonna like bump you on the head and like, ooh, I got that idea. No, you study. You look at things, you study about it, you read about it, you put yourself in places where you can hear about it. You go to places that normally you'd be like, oh, I wouldn't go over there to that particular business thing that they're doing. But you know what? It's open and it's free for everybody. So I'm gonna go in. Some things I'm gonna pay my ticket. I'm gonna buy the ticket. I'm gonna go to the conference. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna listen to these people. And I'm in the room. And you know what? I'm going to act like I belong in this room, because if I was given the opportunity to step in this room, I belong in this room. I'm going to act like I belong here. I may not even know anything that these people are talking about. It may be foreign language to me right now. But you know what? I'm going to sit in there like I own the room. I'm going to sit in there like I know it all. Why? Because I belong in that area. If the door has been open to you in those areas, you belong in there. Act like you belong there. Go ahead, meet people. Go ahead, get all the wisdom and the knowledge that you can get. And then you can ask, okay, God, help me to apply this. Help me to apply this. You giving me opportunity to be in here, to meet these people. You know what? To be around them. And to study them, and even to study these books that you've given me, all this knowledge, help me to apply and walk in where I need to walk. That's what we need to do. We need to realize that we have to strategize. We have to strategize, and we have to get it done. And that's right. That's right, Victoria. You belong in the room. Stop cowering down. I would cower down when I walked into a room, guys. I would be like, oh man, I don't belong here. And I was in a room at one point. I was in this room with all these people. These people were college graduates who had all kinds. Yes, Francina sees the opportunity. These people had all kind of degrees. They had all kinds of everything. And I'm sitting in there and I'm like, why am I in here? Why am I in here? And I felt bad that day. I was like just feeling like down on myself, because they were going around the room and everybody was talking about, what I'm so and so, because they was asking for who everybody was, and they was like, I'm so and so, and I have this degree, and I own this particular business, and they were just talking about the different things. And I'm sitting in this room and I'm like, the more the people talk, it's like I started to shrink down in my seat, because I felt like I don't measure up to the people in this room. That's the way I felt. I was like, I don't measure up to them. Everybody in here is smarter than me. Everybody in here got it going on. And who am I, to even be here? And the more they talked, the more I started to feel bad. But then I got to a point as they were coming around me, and I was going to be the last one. The way that they went around the room, I was going to be the last one. And I was like, I said, God, I'm in this room. I belong here. I belong here. So what? I just got a high school education. You know what? I got my diploma. I belong here. I don't have no business right now, my own business or my own line of whatever, but I belong here. And when it came around to me, I introduced myself, told them my name and everything. Everybody had been talking about their degrees, and I told them, I say, and I have a HG degree. And everybody looked at me. They stopped. And they looked. I was like, it's amazing what God will do. But they stopped and they looked at me. And it was, we're in a church setting, but I was like, I have an HG degree, and my name is Angela. And they was like, HG? What type of degree is that? I said, it's a Holy Ghost degree. I was like, God is with me. He speaks to me. He tells me what I need to do. And that's where I have my degree. I have my degree with the Holy Ghost, with the Holy Spirit, because he's with me and he teaches me all things. And some people start laughing. Some people didn't think it was that funny. But you know what? It was like it took the pressure off of me. I was like, thank you, God. You gave me something to say. But after that, I just kind of relaxed. I started relaxing with being me and being who I am. And I started realizing, you know what? Whenever you walk into a room, it doesn't matter who is in that room. You belong in that room. You belong in that position at work. You need it, that promotion is for you. When it's given to you, don't shrink down. Enjoy it. When you walk into that room, know that you belong in that room that you're in. Know that you're here for a reason and for a purpose. Remember, it's not just good to be creative. It's not just good to be innovative. Make sure that you execute your plan. Make sure you strategize and you execute it. And you watch it come to pass. You watch it manifest right in front of your natural eyes. What you've been seeing and here in your head, it will manifest on the outside. Guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I want you to do that this weekend. I want you to be creative. I want you to be innovative. I want you to strategize. I want you to write out that plan. I want you to execute it. I'm looking for great things. And when they start to happen, don't exclude me. Send me an email at wholebeautiful@gmail.com and let me know what happened because you started to execute the plan. I want you to realize tonight that whole and beautiful is not just your destination. It is most definitely your journey. I want y'all to join me again here next week, Friday at 7 p.m. I'll be right here, ready to share some more words with you, ready to just enjoy your company and to encourage you for your weekend. And if you didn't get the whole show tonight, make sure that you listen tomorrow at 4 p.m. and share it with somebody. Let them know that they want to hear this tonight. They need to be creative, they need to be innovative, and they need to execute their plan. It's going to change your life. It is going to change your life. That's what we're all about. Information, revelation, and change. Until we meet again next week, I love you guys. Y'all have the most amazing weekend. Good night.